Hey guys, welcome back to another pick a card reading. This reading is going to be on general guidance, I guess. It's really just whatever you need to know right now, just keeping it general and seeing whatever information comes through. I definitely forgot to get something for the pick a card for you guys to pick. So just keeping it real simple, just pick 1, 2, and 3. Just look at the piles, feel into it, and see which one calls you, or just randomly pick a group. I don't know. Watch 1, 2, or all 3, whatever. Whatever calls you, you'll get the message you need to hear. So yeah, I'll see you in your reading. Hi, group 1. So welcome to your reading. I have some pre-picked tarot cards that we're gonna get into. So this is just gonna be guidance, like I said in the opening. It's just whatever you need to know right now, and maybe some advice or something. I don't know. So yeah, let's just get into it. First card, we have the 8 of Coins. Right up here. And we have the Star. And we have, okay. So these two want to be together. This, I want to just say the traditional name because I don't want to mispronounce this, but this corresponds to the Chariot. So, and then the Daughter of Swords. I kind of feel like it goes this way. I mean, I can try, like, Wally. I'd see, like, I just feel like I'm butchering the name. I really don't want to do that. So just the Chariot is good. Yeah, I did that here. I didn't even realize it was a different name. Satara. That's actually really pretty. But, you know, the Star. And then we have the 10 of Swords. Okay. So, when I first tapped into your energy, I felt like there needed to be some kind of resolution, like something that you've been dealing with for a while. It's like it's been bugging you and you've been working at it, and it feels like this week or soon enough. I don't know why I said this week. Maybe this week is a big week for you in regards to something that you've been dealing with. This could be a project, or this could be a goal. Feels like a goal. It's something that's been evading you for a long time. Like, it's been a long time you've been working on something, and you may have been feeling defeated through a lot of the trials and errors, but you never gave up. Like, that's this, you just want to keep going and going and going. You never, like, you have such a determination. I mean, this may be a strong characteristic that you have. One of your biggest strengths is that you don't give up. You really persevere, and that's really going to pay off for you soon in your, like, near future, because I see you tapping into the way forward. It's like you've been working on it, and then you crack it. You crack the code, and now you can, like, make it through, and it's getting you over the hump. I know we have the 10 of Swords here last, but this is really feeling like a reflective energy, because we have so much of you moving forward. This looks like you looking back. So that's why I said you may have had a lot of ups and downs. You may have reached a really low point, or maybe you felt a low point somewhere else in your life, and reaching this goal helps you to get out of that really tough situation, or get out of this. It feels like grief. It feels like a heaviness in your heart space, and it feels a lot like defeatism. And it feels a little bit separate from what you've been working on. You may be dealing with a really stressful situation in your life that has been distracting you from really putting your all into your goals, your desires. It just seems like, how do I say it? It seems like you've just been really stressed out, maybe even depressed. It feels really heavy, but it doesn't feel heightened. Like, it doesn't feel like it's at the height of it. Like, it feels like it was the worst part of it seems to have passed, but it took up a lot of your time and energy, and it was really, really chaotic. It could have been your home that you were living in. It doesn't feel so much like you're in it now, though. A lot of it feels like the past, or maybe you're at the tail end of it. It just feels like the worst of it has already happened. That's what it feels like. It feels like you were in the rut, like I'm seeing like a I'm seeing like a grave site, but I mean it could have been a death that you know you experienced, a death of someone close to you. It could have been something like that, but what I'm really seeing is something. Yeah, it's like something died or something ended or something needed to end, because I'm seeing a lot of chaos around you and you having to deal with that. And it just prevented you from doing what you really wanted to do. It prevented you from really going for your goals. And I mean any kind of goals, even just like a morning routine. It feels like it really impacted your life. But but somehow you were able to get through it, because I'm going back to this Eight of Coins. This feels like where you are right now. This is your present. And I know it's a little bit odd to have your past all the way over here. It's just because you reach something or you find a way forward. And that's the point where you look back and you see how far you've come and what you had to overcome, because it was pretty heavy stuff. And you have a really strong appreciation for where you are at the point of completing this and where you're going. You're getting out of something that was very, 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 very difficult for you. And you found the way because you didn't give up. So your guides, or, you know, or God, or whatever you believe in, spirit, they really want to give you a hug. I was going to say a pat on the shoulder, but it's bigger than that. They really want to give you a hug because they're super, super proud of you for making it through this. Because even at the worst of it, even when you may have felt hopeless at times, like, you didn't stop. You didn't let yourself stay in that. You picked yourself up and decided to keep going. And if this isn't something that you went through, maybe it's really bad right now, then this is a part of your essence. This is a part of who you are, to keep pushing, keep going. You have such a strength to really hone in on your desires, on a resolution. You really have a gift with being able to get out of tough situations. And it's like they want you to remember that you know how to get through things, you know how to solve things, you know how to fix things, you know how to change your life around or change your circumstances around. You know that. You've done it before. I'm getting quite a few times you've done that. So if you're in a tough situation right now and you can't see the other side of that, you can't see a way out, really sit with yourself and remember that this is something that you know how to do. You know how to get out of this. Because the way out, that path is already laid out. You know it. So it's all about remembering who you are, remembering what you can do, and tapping into that, trusting that, having really strong confidence in your own ability to stand up for yourself, stand up in your life, and get to where you want to be, or at least make progress to where you want to be. See a lot of positive energy around you with the Star and the Chariot. The Daughter of Swords is really you tapping into that and remembering that. Yeah, there's a strong sense of like fixing it yourself if you're waiting for someone else. But I don't see you waiting at all for someone else to do anything, because you have a strong spirit, a very independent spirit, and you're someone who will do it yourself because you know you can, and you will. That's a strong, strong message. So, and if this is something that you've already gotten out of, yeah, there's just a strong pat on the back or big hug from your spiritual team. I know that it's going to keep getting better. Like, if you're freshly out of something difficult and you're really relieved and happy that that's in your past, it's going to stay in your past. Maybe you're worried that it's going to come back up. there's a big closing out. This Ten of Swords, there's a sense of finality to it. It's over, it's done. And this is whether you're still in the midst of, when you're out of whatever it is, it's gonna be done for good. And you will have done that. So I know I keep going back and forth. It's just kind of, I'm getting all types of tenses here, like past tense, present tense, future tense. So the message is pretty much the same. Just apply it, as necessary to your situation. It's, you will get out of it. You will do it. And you're gonna come out on top. You're gonna feel very proud of yourself. And that's gonna lead you to much bigger things, bigger prospects. Things that you didn't think you could have before. Now you know you can have them because of what you did in getting out of something or fixing something, some issue. I wish I could get more information on the issue because I'm not getting anything specific. It feels like your environment. That's why I was saying home life earlier. It could be your home life, feeling really isolated. Because I do see you alone a lot. So I'm not getting like relationships. It could be with other people that make you feel alone. I think the biggest thing that's coming through is like a home situation, a living situation, or a work situation. It's a place where there are other people, but you feel alone in it. Or you're made to feel alone in it. And yeah, it's just not for you. Yeah, you don't feel comfortable there. You don't feel at home there. So there's a you want to get out of it. That's the biggest situation that I'm getting. But, it could really apply to a bunch of different situations. So the main point here is just getting out of something difficult and knowing you can do that. So I have some oracle cards and I'm going to pull and see what extra messages want to come through. See if there's any advice or anything like that. I'm gonna see, pull cards. Intuition. Yeah. Play. This one. This one. Connected. Actually, I'm going to take this one too. Follow your bliss. Yeah, that's basically what I was seeing with the Star card there and the Chariot. This is about you. So, let's go to the beginning. The intuition, like I said, you know what to do. You have that code within you. It's about tapping into who you are, what you know, what you've done in the past, what you know about yourself, what you feel confident in. You know. You have that. You have the fix, the solution to whatever is going on with you. Now, I know the second card says play, but I'm really focusing in on the mushrooms. And there's what I'm really feeling from that is like this earthiness and this like coming from the ground and like making it to the top of the soil, like growing from there. The whole process of just like growing from the roots, developing from the root, and from beneath the ground and then cracking through the surface. I kind of feel like that's your journey. You started off like in this really dark and sort of cold, wet place that feels really uncomfortable, and you're breaking through, and hold on a second, guys. All right, sorry guys, I had to tend to my cat. But yeah, the journey of just coming through the surface and finding your home above the surface and really feeling like the air on your face, and it's just the complete opposite of where you were. So whatever this difficult situation was, that's you underground and you kind of persevering, making your way to the top. With connected, I feel like that just goes back to your path. I feel like everything is leading you Like, you can see it. There may be, that's part of your solution. It's finding all the little things. I know that doesn't really make sense. That's what I heard, and I'm like, what? But it's like a snowball effect, you know? Once you start in one place, like once you start believing in yourself and feeling what you need to do, you start there, and that just grows and grows and grows. It leads you to another thing, and then another thing, and another thing. It feels very synchronistic, the resolution to your problem or your situation or getting out of where you are. It's all the steps are connected to each other. So there isn't going to be like, okay, you did this, now what? You're immediately going to know what to do after, because it's going to come so easily to you because you're so locked in. You're so determined. You're like, okay, I see this. The closer you get to it, like, not even the closer you get to it, the closer you get to moving forward. I guess that doesn't, I'm trying to make it make sense. Sorry, guys. It's like coming to me so fast and jumbled. So it's like, how do I say it? The closer you are to who you are, meaning remembering who you are, because it's like you may have felt really insecure about your ability to move forward, or to, maybe this is about money too, because I'm getting, you may feel like you won't be able to support yourself fully. And that's not just financially, you know, but in this world, a lot of that has to do with finances. So that could play a part. There's just the biggest thing I'm getting is you feeling alone. So wherever you're going or how you get out of this, you're going to get out of it on your own, because you're going to prove to yourself that you can do it. You don't need someone to save you. You can save yourself. But then when you do, that's when you find the people who will support you. It's one of those things, like when people say you find love when you stop looking for it. That's a very similar message I'm getting here. It's when you break out of this, that's when you find what you've been wanting all along. You know, what made this period in your life so difficult. With follow your bliss, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Your path is going to be open. That very much coincides with the Chariot. It's just all green lights ahead, you know, just it's just smooth sailing for a good period of time, where you're just enjoying life. After a very difficult period, you're just going to be enjoying life. It's going to feel really, really, really good to just breathe, and nothing is stressing you out. That's what you've been working towards. It also reminds me actually of the star, because we see the path laid out towards this giant star. Here we see the path laid out to the sun, which is a giant star. And, you know, what you've been hoping for, what you've been working towards, you can have confidence that it will happen, because with the star, there's the hope for it. With the follow your bliss, it's you reaching it. You know, it's you following your path, and it's there. So a big guidance, I guess, is knowing that you're going to do this, and you're going to get to where you want to be and have the experiences that you've been longing for. So I want to say just have confidence in yourself, but that's not so easy to do, right? You have to really work at that. But just start little and keep building from there. And that's, you know, that's what I see here. And eventually you'll crack the code and you'll be set free. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope it made sense. I feel like I was a little bit all over the place, but I hope it made sense, and I hope that it helped you in some way. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your reading. So yeah, we're just gonna get some general guidance, see what pops up. So we got some pre-shuffled cards, and we'll see what comes up. So starting off, we have the 8 of Wands. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm just going to say the traditional names of the cards because I don't know how to pronounce these and I don't want to mess them up. So I'm just going to go with the traditional names. So that's the Wheel of Fortune. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles, well, the Son of Coins, but that corresponds to the Knight of Pentacles. And we have the Alchemist, which is the Magician. And then we have Strength. So, when I tapped into your group, the first thing I felt was water and this urge to be still. This feeling of just wanting to stop for a second and just feel into your emotions or find a stillness within your emotions. Like maybe things have been moving really fast, and that's kind of what I can see here. You may have been going through a lot of changes, a lot of things happening really fast for you. You may have changed jobs or homes, or just maybe things may have been moving really fast. But with the Son of Coins, there is this sense of wanting to just take a moment and look at how you want to move forward. What do you really want to put your energy into? Because whatever you do now, you're going to be in it for a long time. Because I'm looking at the top of the Alchemist over here, and that's an infinity symbol. We have it again here over Strength. Is that infinity symbol. So there's a strong sense of whatever you do now is going to be for a really, really, really long time. And so you want to make sure that you're making the right decision. So this is a pivotal time for you. A lot of things are coming up, and you have to make decisions, some pretty big decisions. I think the biggest thing is that I was gonna say you know what you're doing. You know that you have everything you need to make the right decision. So I think the biggest thing in here is not to overthink it. To stay true to what you want. To stay true to the vision you have for your life and for your family. There's a strong sense of family coming through. Because you may be the head of your family. Because I feel a sense of responsibility. There may be others that you're responsible for. And if it's not family, it could be at your job, people that you're in charge of. Or maybe like a group, just something. There's a sense of responsibility here having to do with other people relying on you to make the right choices for the group that you're responsible for. Like your family, like I said, I don't want to go through the list again, but your family or whomever it could be, you're the one who seems like is in charge. Maybe it's your kids, maybe it's something like that. But I think the biggest guidance coming through for you is that you know what to do. And not even, and I'm not talking like intuitively, like just feel into it. No, I mean like you actually know what to do in the physical world. You know what leads to what, you know how things are going to play out. You may feel like you're making assumptions or you don't want to jump to the wrong conclusions, but I think that's the part of yourself that you need to trust is your logic. It's the opposite of your intuition. It's what you know for sure. You may feel like you're being unfair in some way. That's why you don't want to make a rash decision. That's where I was getting the stillness from. That makes sense. That you wanted to really take your time to see how to move forward, but it's like you just got to make the hard decisions. I just heard like you have to make the executive decision to move forward in one way or another. Trust that you know what to do, even if it feels hard or even if it's like, doesn't make sense right now, or maybe it makes too much sense in the sense that, you know, something could go wrong, or you could be surprised by something. Really trust your abilities, because I have this, like, I get this feeling of you knowing your stuff. Like, you know, you may have a strong background in whatever it is you're doing, maybe a strong education, or just a lot of experience in something that you're backing this on. I'm getting a lot of groundedness. Like, this doesn't feel like a mystical thing of like trusting your intuition, trusting your guides. This feels very grounded, as in things that you are physically working with, have physically worked with. So this is a strong sense of experiences backing up your decisions right now, and trust that. Trust what you know, like, for sure. I'm getting that really strongly, and it feels very straightforward. Trust what you know, and know that it's going to work out because of your experience. There's going to be no surprises for what you have been through, what you know. Like, this is really strong of look back and know that this is sort of the same thing. You know your shit. Okay, like, you know. Really trust that. Really, really trust that. Because it's a strong asset to have that experience. You don't have that experience for nothing. So we're gonna pull some oracle cards to see if there's any additional messages and or advice or whatnot. So okay, we have the present. Introspection, step by step. And take this one. Transformation. Ooh, I kind of want to take this one too. I was just going to do 4, but awaken. Look at that. Okay. So the present. Yeah, I mean, this is reflecting a lot of what I was getting before with the present and the time, you know, imagery. I forgot the name of that. Like the sand, what is that called? Why can't I remember? Good Lord. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time trying to figure that out. But yeah, the present and introspection together. You really want to take a moment to make sure you're doing the right thing, but I don't think you need to take too much time to do that. Trust yourself, trust what you know, and move forward. Just move forward with it. You're going to see the results that you want to see with transformation, and you're going to open up from that. You're going to develop into a powerhouse, because once you really trust your physical abilities, you're going to be unstoppable. I mean, look at what you have. You have the alchemist, the magician with strength. That together is a powerhouse. That's like, I heard, fuck with me if you want to. Like, that's the energy you're on. And if you just step into it, it's laid out in front of you. Like, this is ready to go. There's such an alignment here with the 8 of Wands, or the 8 of Staves, and the Wheel of Fortune. There's an alignment here. You're ready. You've been working on this. You have the experience. You're ready to go. Trust that. Trust who you are. Trust what you know. And that's it. Like, I'm not even getting anything else. It's like, okay, that's it. That's all they need to know. They don't need to know anything else. You don't need to keep looking for something that you don't need. You have it. You know who you are. You know what you've been through. You know your experience. You have the confidence. It's there. It's like it's like you want to take a moment to make sure it's there or something. I don't know what it is. But it's kind of like you want to lean on your intuition, but you don't need to right now, because your logic is enough. It's more than enough. It's the reason you're qualified for whatever it is this is calling you to do. It does feel like a job, maybe a promotion or something. There's something about up-leveling. It's definitely a decision that you're making for yourself and for others. You know what to do. You know the decision you have to make. You do. And you just want to make sure it's the right decision. You already know. It feels like you already made the decision, because you know that it's the right decision. And you may be worried about how other people are going to take that. It's, you know what you know. Trust that. And once you move forward and everything plays out the way you know it will, if there are any people who are worried or questioning, that will go away because they're going to see it. That's that awaken. People who may not see your vision or see what you already know, they're going to see it because it's going to play out exactly the way you know it will. So you don't need to worry about how other people are going to look at, what you're doing now or how you move forward. They're going to see. They're going to see the progress. They're going to see how it unfolds, and they're going to be very, very impressed because you already saw before you even made the decision, So it's quite the flex. You know what you know. So just lean into that. Own it. So that's all I have for you today. That's the guidance that came through, and I hope so much that it was helpful and help guide you in some way. And I truly hope to see you in the next one. All right? Have a good day, guys. Bye. Hi, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. We have some pre-shuffled cards. This is just going to be general guidance. So whatever you need to know right now is going to come through. So let's get into it. We have the Sun. So I set this into 2 other groups. I'm just going to say the traditional name because some of these I don't know how to pronounce and I don't want to mess it up. So, I mean, this is pretty simple. Shams or maybe Shams. I'm not really sure. But in traditional tarot, that is the Sun. So we'll go with that. We have the 8 of Swords. Let's come out together. So we have Sultan, the Emperor, which is corresponds to the Emperor, with the 9 of Cups. Ooh, this is interesting. So when I get 2 cards that come out together, I really try to feel into which way they want to go, and this one wants to go this way. Yeah, let's go this way. And then the last card, we have the 4 of Wands, or the 4 of Staffs. I'm really big on, like, saying the traditional names. Not because I'm, like, by the book or anything like that. It's just what I'm used to. It's what I learned on, well, not really, but it's what I know. It's what I do the most. I mean, it is what I learned on, but it wasn't, like, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I want to get sidetracked. Okay, so the Sun, the 8 of Swords, the Emperor, 9 of Cups, 4 of Wands. What guidance do you need? So when I tapped into your energy, Group 3, I felt, the first thing I saw was a light bulb, and I heard, well, I didn't really hear it, but I felt that you wanted to know something. You wanted to learn something or find something out. I got this investigative kind of nature or energy, and I was a little bit taken aback by that because I was not expecting that, number one. But also, I didn't really understand, what you were trying to investigate, if you were trying to investigate something. But I am looking at your cards. I am getting that you want to know something. There's something that you feel you're in the dark about. I'm getting a lot, because you see a lot of light. We have the Sun, which is, our greatest source of light. And we have the 8 of Swords where you see she's blindfolded, but there's that streak of light there, in front of the swords. It's funny because she has 2 things blocking her view, right? She has the blindfold and she has the swords. Obviously, the main thing is the blindfold. But, and then we have the Emperor there, right? And the Sun is behind him. So maybe you want to know about a specific person. Maybe there's something you want to find out. Maybe you want to know if they're the person that you want them to be. Is that what this is? It does feel like that, especially with the 4 of Wands. You may feel like someone in your life is too good to be true. With the 9 of Cups there and the 4 of Wands. Yeah, the 4 of Wands, but I meant the Emperor. It seems like the way that someone is presenting themselves to you seems too perfect. It seems too like by the book. Like they're checking off every box in the list, you know, and you may think like, I don't know about you. With the sun, yeah, the sun, the sun feels like a wish. It feels like a wish. It feels like it's the vision of the life that you wanted, that you carried, but you didn't feel like you had access to it. And here there's this person who's presenting like a big part of that vision, a big part of what you want. And I think you have been holding on to that vision for a really long time, and it got to the point where you thought it was never going to happen. Or I feel like you saw a lot that contradicted your vision, your dream even, something that you really wanted. Maybe a family, maybe you wanted a family, and you felt like a lot of the relationships around you would fall apart, and so you thought it wasn't possible. But this person coming in is completely proving you wrong. And you're like, I don't know. I don't know about that. But they're not backing down. You know, I've noticed that in my readings that I've been doing, like, because this one is different than the first two. And I noticed that when I do readings, there seems to be like a love reading that just plops right in and plants itself. And this seems to be that. This seems to be a love reading. So if you're not looking for that, maybe you could pick one of the other two groups. Or maybe this reading just isn't for you. But this does feel like a more on the line of a love reading. It doesn't have to be. This could just be a person like that you meet, but it does feel like a person that has presented themselves to you in a certain way. It doesn't have to be romantic, but that is the energy that I'm primarily getting. But it could be a friendship, it could be a work related thing, it could be anything, honestly. It could even be a situation. This doesn't have to be a person, but that is what I'm getting very strongly. It could be a situation. It's something that's presenting itself to you that you feel like it's too good to be true. That's the core of it. So apply that to your situation, you know, as you feel necessary. But I'm gonna go back to that narrative, I guess, of a person presenting themselves, because that's the main thing I feel. But there's such an alignment here with this person or whatever's being presented. There's an alignment here. There's a reason that it feels so good, because it matches you. You feel good in it. Cause I'm looking at the Four of Wands, and I'm looking at this. Is that a gazebo? Is that what you call it? Whatever. And the light beams there. It's just, there's such an alignment with the two women dancing, and even the colors, the orange and yellow, which I just noticed as I said that. Yellow with the sun, your vision, right? And orange here, which is red, but you got a lot of orange in there. Which is the whatever is presenting yourself that aligns with your vision, the sun. So there's such an alignment here. You can see it. I think. So one of the big themes in today's readings in all three is this trust factor. And it's coming up in different ways. But for you, it's trust that what you're seeing is real. That's the biggest guidance I'm getting for your group, is trust that what you're seeing and experiencing and what you can have from it is real. It's real. Some things are really true. I know that we can get caught up in the whole too good to be true, because we experience a lot. Excuse me. Hold on, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I had something come up I had to deal with. There there are times, where we go through a lot of difficulty and we can just, or maybe it's just a long time. When you have to wait a long time for something, you really, and it's natural, you start to doubt whether or not you can actually really have it, or, whether it's real. Maybe you have to settle for something, but you specifically give me the impression that you do not settle. You do not like to settle. You will seclude yourself. You will, pick something else entirely, or you'll just, I don't know, you'll keep looking, but you don't give me the impression of settling, because you're like an all or nothing kind of person. And so you may have been alone for a little while, because I said secluded yourself, and that feels appropriate for your situation. You may have spent a lot of time on your own. And then I keep getting this person just coming up and like, hey, what's up? Like, I'm real. Like, not literally, they didn't literally say this, but I mean, maybe, I don't know who you're dealing with here. But they present themselves in a very serious manner. And I think that's the part that's tripping you up the most, because they're not playing around. And I think you can trust them, but it's like you're creating scenarios of what could go wrong, or what the reason could be. Like, there's a hidden factor here. Like, nah, they're not what they say they are, because that doesn't exist, kind of thing. It's like this weird kind of defensive approach of like, this isn't real, so they can't be real. It's not so much that you're questioning the person, but you're questioning your vision, and whether or not, because I think for a while you may have decided that what you wanted wasn't possible. It was just a dream, like a fairy tale, and fairy tales don't exist. That may have been what you told yourself, but it wasn't what you believed when you came up with this dream. This could have been a childhood dream. It feels like, I'm looking at the two kids. It does feel like, and when I first looked at it, it felt like a childhood dream. Like, you saw your life one way when you were a kid. You saw yourself grown up and living a certain life. And then as you grew up, things just went differently than how you wanted them to go, or how you thought they would go. And you just felt like that dream wasn't real anymore. And now you have these circumstances, or this person coming in and showing you that you could have that dream. You could have what you want. But you told yourself for so long that that dream wasn't real, that it didn't exist. And so now you're like, wait a minute. I mean, this person is trustworthy, but I don't know if I can have that. I think the biggest thing here is to give it a chance. Just give it a chance. You don't have to commit long term if you really feel hesitant, but I think you owe yourself to give this a chance. If this is a childhood dream, that you've been carrying around for so long, and what is being presented to you is reflecting that dream, the possibility of that dream coming true, give it a chance. Just give it a chance. Like, really give it a chance. Don't just like tiptoe around it. Like, really give it a chance. Because think of what you could be depriving yourself of if you don't. Like, what's the alternative here? You continuing the way that you've been continuing and not having your dream, and believing, that can't feel good, right? Believing that your dream isn't real, that's a hard thing to feel, to think. It carries such a heaviness to it, So your guidance is really to give this a chance, because it's hard to just trust something that you've been telling yourself doesn't exist for so long. So the first step is just to give it a chance and see how it plays out, But a big message is saying that you can trust this. This is real. This is trustworthy. And I think you know that already, because the emperor doesn't play around. You know what I mean? It's a very serious archetype. And the way that the emperor presents himself is this is who I am. And sorry guys, got interrupted again. But what I was saying about the emperor is that the emperor is someone who who presents themselves in a trustworthy way, because what's most important to the Emperor is being respected. And you can't respect someone that you don't trust. So it's really important that he's doing things that hold, you know what I mean, that have a strong structure. But another thing that I was noticing was that your feeling about this being too good to be true, it really is coming from you. And you know that. I've been saying that the whole reading. But the point that I'm getting at is that the Emperor is showing up clear. Nothing in the way, right? He's just sitting there looking at you straight forward. But you, on the other hand, you, like I said before, you have the blindfold and you have the swords. So not only are you hiding, but you're actually shutting something out. You know what I mean? In terms of you're refusing to see what's right in front of you. With 2 layers. So, ironically, it kind of would be you that maybe, doesn't seem, I don't want to say you don't seem trustworthy, but seems like, would be the one to be hiding something. So maybe you are, I don't know. But if you're worried about not being received well, or maybe you're insecure about certain things, because this could come up as a fear of being seen, especially in an intimate way. When we're talking about partnerships, that's a very scary thing, especially if you've been on your own for a long time. So if you're worried that this person is going to find things out about you and walk away, this person is so mature, so evolved. I can't emphasize that enough, because this Emperor in this reading is coming through as just such a strong, trustworthy, evolved being, like something you don't see often. I can get why you feel like it's too good to be true, because this person is something you don't encounter very often. And again, if it's not a person, then whatever situation you're in, whatever the offer is, whatever is presenting itself to you. But again, just because it's being followed up with the 9 of Cups, this is wish fulfillment. This is your wish come true. And then not just that, you're celebrating here. Like, this is such a good thing for you. So yeah, the biggest thing is just take a chance. Taking a chance sounds easy, I know, but it's difficult. That's why it's taking a chance. It's a risk. But that's the biggest, guidance here is just take a chance on something that could be really great for you. So we're going to pull some cards from the Oracle deck here. And we're going to see if there's anything else that wants to come through. Do it on camera. Okay. Cosmic flow. Ooh, look at that. Step by step. I was thinking that too when I said take a chance. One step at a time, one little step. That's taking a chance too. Just moving forward in whatever way feels right for you. The journey. Let's do this one. Highest self. Let's do one more. Follow your bliss. 2 of these cards came up in the previous reading, so maybe there's something there for you. Okay. You know what I'm seeing here with Cosmic Flow? I'm seeing you as a kid looking further out into your life and seeing what it could be. That's that same thing I was getting earlier of that dream, that childhood dream. That's what I like. You know what's interesting too? I don't see any real difficulty. I mean, all your cards are so positive. The only one that is that's like, in a different place is the Eight of Swords. Is where you are. It's like you're shielding yourself from it. There's such a fear there. But it's one step at a time. I don't want to say it like I'm telling you what to do, but I really do feel like you owe this to yourself to at least try. So just one little, like, baby steps. It can be the tiniest step, just one step. There's such an alignment here because that higher self, there's such an alignment here. That's why it's presenting itself to you, because you were doing something right. For you to be in such alignment with this, even in your Eight of Swords, there's alignment. Even the light, there's alignment. So you don't have a real reason to shield yourself, because this isn't too good to be true. This is for you. It's like it's almost catered to you because you've been doing something, right? You've been doing the work on yourself for sure, but some work in your life, there's something. There is a very spiritual essence to this when it comes to you, your journey, yourself. Like, you've been doing the work on yourself. And that may be because you were on your own. When you're on your own, that just comes up naturally. You just naturally work on things for yourself because you don't have anyone to project on or to project onto you. And so it's just you there facing yourself. So, I was getting earlier that you had spent a lot of time on your own, and that makes sense because in that time you would have done the work that would have brought this in and allowing you to live out that dream. Because then look, and I love this connection here of you seeing this vision, right? And now you living it, like that sun. You have, and then the sun here. This is real. This is real for you. And look at the sun here. It's reflecting what you have already done for yourself. You learned all the hard lessons. You cut the stuff that wasn't good for you. You cut that stuff out. You really try to build something healthy for yourself. It's just that, when you come out of that solitude and you start to interact with others again, it can bring up some fears because you spent so much time facing, those inner shadows, that it brings it to the surface. But then it gets presented with the opposite of your fear, right? You're presented with your desire, with your wishes. And it's up to you to decide what you're going to choose, your fear or your wish, And it really comes down to that for you right now, is which one are you going to choose? And if you, follow this card's advice, I think the answer is pretty clear. So that's all I have for you today. And I hope that was helpful. I hope that it resonated and you got from it what you needed. And I truly hope to see you in the next one. All right. Hope you have a good day. Bye, guys.